Creating your own preset in Lightroom can help define your style while adding consistency to your work. Let's create a simple vintage camera preset with a couple tips for an easier workflow. So we got our picture in Lightroom, and what we're going to do is a simple vintage black and white film look. What we'll do first is just a simple fix of the angle, straighten it out just for my peace of mind. And then let's say we're going to crop this for Instagram. A little bit more of those arches in there, have him a little bit more at the bottom of the frame. So what we'll do is just change it to black and white, and then we will reduce the texture a little bit so it's just a little bit softer. Then we'll go to tone curve. We'll do a simple S curve, make it a little bit contrasty. And to get that vintage black and white film look, we're going to pull up blacks and pull down on our whites so they're not so stark and they're a little bit more faded. There we go. Next, we're going to go to color grading. We're going to add a little bit of that vintage tones to it. So in mid-tones, we'll add a little bit of orange. The darks, the blacks, will add a little bit of this blue. And then in the highlights, do just a little bit of yellow. So it's almost like that kind of sepia tone. And there we go. So this is just straight black and white. And then this is it with the vintage tone to it. Okay, let's go down to effects. Let's add a vignette to it, because with a lot of vintage cameras, the center is going to be the brightest. Around the edges, they all had a lot of vignetting to it. So let's add some vignette. Let's feather that out just a little bit more. And then grain, make it a little bit bigger, make it a little bit crunchy. All right, so here's our final picture. Let's save this as a preset so that we can use it later on different pictures. It's as simple as this. You go to presets, here's a plus button, you can click that, create preset. In here, let's change this. And here are all the check boxes if there's something you didn't want to add to your picture. Like let's say you wanted to add the tone curve, but that was just a one-off for this picture. You can uncheck this, and then it won't save it to the preset. But we'll check this. Let's use create, and here we go, vintage black and white. Okay, so here's another picture. Let's say you want to add that preset. All you have to do is go find the preset, use a preset, vintage black and white we just did, click on that, and there you go. There's also this slider here where you can add if you want it to be really heavy on there, or if you just wanted a light kind of look. Okay, and there you go. That's how you make a preset. You can go ahead and change any of these parameters here and save it as a preset, even if it's as simple as just a crop for social media. Hope this helps. We'll see you on the next one.